Hey guys, what's going on? This is Pants Our Dragon, and today we'll be doing the patch 5.20 rundown of the changes. There's not really much happening in this patch, so this will be a relatively fast video, as well as showing one of the most depressing defeats I've had in a while on an Evelyn game on my main account, as I came across it while I was looking for an Evelyn clip. And yeah, I just want to share you. Oh, that's actually such a depressing match. You'll just love it. But anyways, first up we're going to be talking about Azir. So Azir's starting position is going to be 325 units behind Azir instead of 175. This does not mean the total range of his R is actually being changed, and in no way it's a nerf. It's just, it's going to help you get that knockback on people who are beside you and a bit behind you. So I do feel like this change is going to be a buff, but as Azir for solo queue, I don't think he's that good. I mean, I went 1-10 with him, and I don't know what I did wrong. It couldn't possibly be me jungling with him, so he's just a champion for, competitive play, or until I feel like you get to Master and Challenger. Next up is going to be Darius, and his Q's blade width is going down by 50. Again, this isn't the total range, it's just the hilt is going to be much wider. So I feel like instead of being a brain dead champion he is, or whatever people want to call him, he's just going to have a bit more tendency to miss his Q. Well, the good part of his Q. As well as the slow going down on his E by 50%. I feel like the nerf to his Q is already pretty big, and I feel like the E doesn't really matter in the landing phase because you usually use your E, give it an auto attack, and then use your W. But maybe for initiating teamfights when you flash E and everyone's stunned for a brief moment, otherwise, your W being a 90% slow, you already have that. He's still probably going to be pretty good as a champion, but maybe not as prioritized in champion select as other champions. Next up is going to be Dr. Mundo. So this guy is getting some interesting buffs to his E. His W is basically the same, it just ticks every half a second. But now his E resets his auto attack. He deals 5% of his maximum health on the next auto attack, plus attack range is going up by 25. And health cost is paid once he strikes his target instead of activating the ability. So I'm pretty sure you can't kill yourself. If you have 20 health and you use a skill, you'll probably just be brought down to 1 hit point, not kill yourself, because that'd be really stupid. Kinda like Mordekaiser. But the auto attack reset does help in my opinion. I feel like in the top lane you can trade more efficiently because of that. And 5% of his maximum health, well, maybe. I guess it does help really good in the mid game and late game. And early game, well, 35 to 60 damage depending on how much health you have. So I'm pretty interested on how this will affect him in the laning phase. I feel like he may be worth it to be an honorable mention for the top lane with this buff, depending if it's actually a really big buff, but otherwise probably still not in top 5. And next up is the most depressing game of my life, Evelyn. But first up, we're going to be going through some changes. So as you can see, her W is going from no cost to 40 mana, and I think this will hurt her in early game when she doesn't have a rune glaive. When you're running around the jungle, you definitely have to be careful about using your W since it does now cost mana. For ganks, you definitely have to be a bit careful too. When you kill somebody, maybe you don't want to use your W. Then again, after you kill somebody, you'll probably go back into your jungle and go stealth and get your passive so you do restore that missing mana. Once you do get your rune glaive, I don't think it'll matter at all since you do have a lot of mana sustain with it. But now you just can't spam your W every time it's up in the jungle. You gotta be careful. Of course, when you have blue buff, you don't have to be careful at all. Will this affect her in the jungle tiers? Probably not a lot, but maybe 1 ranks down. I mean, it does hurt her mobility just a bit in early game, and early game is one of her key strengths. So, to be honest, she's probably still gonna be good. And yes, as you can see, this is a super depressing game, and I was extremely upset, and yeah, not the best game to go sleep on, so I think it was one of my worst sleeps, definitely. But yeah, I think I was about to quit right there. Just kidding, probably not. But yeah, I mean, if you're on a team, you'd probably be fucking super happy. Hell, I would be, but now you get the point of view where you're on a losing team. Probably one of the worst feelings ever if you're in a situation like this. So leave a comment below on what your most depressing moment in League of Legends was if you had something similar to a situation like this. Oh, and also, we're not done the video yet. We gotta go over Fiora. So as you can see, her ultimate is being changed and basically nerfed. They want to emphasize the mini game of her ultimate part. So you gotta hit the vitals now, or else the duration won't be 5 anymore. And now you can't ult someone who's about to die just to get that Janna monsoon. You're gonna have to get 1 or 2 vitals off before actually, healing your whole team and basically winning a team fight. Although as you can see, you cannot go to 6 seconds, it's still 5 seconds. So if you hit all 4, it doesn't matter, it'll still be the same duration. But yeah, I don't think it'll change that much, to be honest. I feel like she's still going to be super good. Like usually when you activate your R, you'll probably get 1 or 2 procs off Vital, as there are probably 2 sides very close to you already. So I don't think it'll change her a lot in terms of like win rate. Next up, Teemo is getting a buff on his R. So as you can see, the cooldown on his ultimate is going down by 1 second at level 6, 3 seconds at level 11, and 5 seconds at level 16. Oh, and also the arm time is going down to 1 second, so he's actually going to be a better team fighter when he's level 11 and 16. So there's definitely going to be a bit more zoning potential in those team fights. Like I can see him being really good at level 16 since he has like the 600 range nuke. But as for control around Baron Pit and Dragon when you're just planting mushrooms, it's still only 5 minutes, so I still don't think he's that great ever since that nerf. But I definitely want to see how he does in team fights with this change to his ultimate. And last up, Vayne is getting minus 3 AD. Okay, so the way I see his nerf is you'll probably want to avoid trading in an early game a little bit more than usual, and you might have a little bit more problems last hitting under tower if that might be the case. But this doesn't change a lot. I mean, it's only 3 AD. This doesn't really affect her mid game or late game, it's just her early game is a bit more vulnerable. Like, she's probably still going to be played often. Twitch had a nerf something similar like this, but he also got a nerf to his Q where the stealth would activate after 3 seconds, regardless if he was taking damage or not, and that's what made him pretty safe if he wasn't against like a Lee Sin or something that can reveal him. The best way to think about this nerf is you're going to have 3 less attack damage reds on your runes. So yeah, it's not that big. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I am Panther Dragon, and I'll see you guys next time.